All I could say as it begins is Nolan Smith is going to be a beast. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. If you were excited about Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter going into training camp, well, after we talk today, you're going to be really excited about these guys because today they showed up and went off. Now, practice has just ended, and there is a ton to talk about on the first day of training camp. But before we do get into all of it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, my nose itches, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, thank you so much for all the support you give me. We will be live later today, so look for that. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Training camp is here, it's underway, and what a day one of practice. Now, as always, we're going to start off these training camp videos with the Eagles injury report. Here was what it was today going into practice. Eagles will not practice. Hassan Reddick had groin soreness, expected to be back after the weekend. Derek Barnett, knee. So Derek Barnett was as effective today as he usually is when he does practice. You didn't miss nothing. Avonte Maddox, big-ass toe. He was limited, and Derek Barnett, they both were limited at practice. Devin Allen was placed on an active NFI. I think it's a calf, something wrong with his calf, soreness in his calf. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I really want this kid to get another opportunity to play. You got to take advantage of that speed, and I'm hoping that he will. Now, before practice began, the Eagles did have a press conference. It was Nick Sirianni, it was Howie Roseman, and I would say there are a couple things that really stuck out to me and what they said. First thing we'll talk about later on today in another video, but they were talking about being very open to still adjusting the roster. Specifically, they're very open to adding another linebacker if they need one. They're very open, and they're going to keep a watchful eye on the linebacker position and see if they need to add one. And they're always trying to get their roster better, they said. And this goes for every position, but they were specifically at this point in time talking about the linebacker. And if you look at some of the way these linebackers like Christian Ellis played today, we might be better than we think at linebacker, better than a lot of people think. They also said that Cam Jurgens was going to get the first crack at right guard. So he's going to get his first crack at it. Me personally, if it's up to me, I'd rather see Tyler Steen win the right guard spot. And it's, of course, for a selfish reason, and that is if you have two guys that can start and play, then, it's one less position you have to worry about filling. Cam Jurgens, I'd like to just keep him at center, but he's going to get the first shot at right guard. If he wins it, he wins it. Just put the best player in, but it would be nice if Steen could win that job and Cam Jurgens could sit and still learn even more behind Jason Kelce. That would be that'd be great. And the other thing that I thought was interesting, not a surprise at all though, is Nick Sirianni said that going in, whoever you see at running back with the first teams, don't look too much in it. They're really going running back by committee, and that's kind of what I expected to get going into camp. What that tells me is it's pretty much wide open for the starting job, and we're going to go with the hot hand. We're going to go with the guy playing the best. And I think as training camp and preseason goes, I kind of feel like at the end of the day, it's going to end up being DeAndre Swift who will take that job. But you know what? We will see. We will see. Now, as far as practice goes, one of the things I will say was the offense. I think they were kind of sloppy. From everything we were hearing, the offense looked sloppy. At one point, Nick Sirianni started cursing them out. He was not happy with the way they're practicing. He grabbed them all together and kind of did a reset. So the offense a little sloppy, but that didn't keep Jalen Hurts from making some great throws, touchdown to Dallas Goedert, and Jalen Hurts is going to do his thing. He looks absolutely fantastic, just like we expected. Marcus Mariota was definitely a little sloppy today. Had an interception, had a fumble, but I think the whole offense was sloppy from the beginning. They really, on the first 11-on-11 drills, the first 2 plays were sacks. So offense a little sloppy. And listen, it's the first day of practice, and that's what everybody was saying. It looked like the first day of practice today. And sometimes, the defense always seems to be, a quicker starter early on in training camps and stuff than offense. So no surprise there. But you had some interesting things. Tyree Jackson had a touchdown catch, and they said by all accounts he looked pretty good. And if we could somehow get Tyree Jackson, and I know a lot of people, I get it. A lot of people have given up on the kid. I get it. I get it. But Tyree Jackson with a nice touchdown today, if that kid could play and be a backup tight end, I mean, that would be a huge deal for the Eagles, in my opinion. Now, the really exciting part about today was the defense. Okay, the defensive line looks like they're not going to miss a stop. You had Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox were your starters today. Jalen Carter was rotating in. Didn't take Jalen Carter to get pressure and then eventually get a sack at the end of practice on Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Carter did exactly what he needed to do. Christian Ellis. We got to talk about Christian Ellis. Christian Ellis wowed everybody at the OTAs the whole spring. Comes right in today, gets a pick off Marcus Mariota, and he, by all accounts, continues to impress, continues to look good. Could he end up winning a starting job? I think at linebacker, it's going to be wide open. I think it's possible. But I am getting more and more excited, Paul, about Christian Ellis. No question about it. And we're gonna see how this kid plays in preseason. I assume he's gonna get a lot of snaps. So that will be really, really a big deal. The other guy, and I'm gonna say he was the star of day one of training camp. And I gotta talk about him. Nolan Smith, baby. Nolan Smith. I can't tell you how many people were talking about the guy's explosiveness and speed is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Him coming off the edge is absolutely ridiculous. And on day one, he was with the second team, getting reps with the second team because Hassan Reddick was out and wasn't practicing. But he could not be contained. He was on that Christian Ellis interception. He was the reason why Mariota threw the interception, because he was getting pressure. Another time he pressured Mariota. Mariota fumbled the ball. I cannot overemphasize how fast and how explosive everybody is saying he is. I'm telling you, Nolan Smith left everybody talking. It was a really, really good day. Even Elliott Shore-Parks, he, instead of telling us how many incompletions or completions Jalen Hurts threw, he was talking about Nolan Smith. This is what he said. Really impressive play for today from Nolan Smith. His speed is insane for an edge rusher. What was it, like a 4.39 at the 40? Nolan Smith is going to be a factor this year. I don't know how the Eagles are going to do it, how they're going to get him in the game, but you have to find a way to get this guy on the field. It's got to happen. It has to happen. You have to get this guy on the field because he's that important. And when you have a guy with his athleticism, his speed, you got to find a way to use him. You really, really do. So I would say that the star of practice, the guy that I think everybody's been talking about practice, was Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is my day one MVP at training camp practice. Of course, it's only day one. Didn't seem like there was any real injuries or anything that came out of today's practice. It lasted, I think, just about an hour. Also, Legatron, he had a couple good punts to close practice as well. We definitely, and I can't underestimate this, I can't. We definitely need a punter. There's no question about it. The Eagles are going to need a punter. Legatron, a couple good punts today, and that really wraps up what happened day one at practice. We will be back for tomorrow practice. I also will be streaming later today, and then of course I'll have an afternoon video. There's going to be a lot to talk about. I am still on Kelly Green watch. What the hell is going on? If it doesn't come out today, then I really think it is going to be August 1st. I think that's what they're going to do to us. But we will find out. We will see. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. All right, so we do got Jalen Hurts' passing statistics. I always find this very funny when they put the passing statistics of a quarterback up in practice. I just don't think it means anything. But today, Jalen Hurts, 6 of 10 with 2 touchdowns, lots of good runs, sacked twice, 2 passes broken up. It wasn't really, let's just be honest, it was a sloppy day for the offense. Nick Sirianni wasn't happy. It is what it is. It's only day 1 of training camp. It's going to get a lot better. With that said, Denzel Washington out.